My name is Mrs. Kindness Ugborough. You are all welcome to Wealth Place. Please support by clicking like, comment, and subscribe for more. TH e $100 trap. Why working harder may never make you rich. Imagine waking up one morning and seeing $100,000 in your bank account. For most people, that number feels like freedom. No more panic when the rent is due. No more checking your account before buying groceries. No more praying your car doesn't break down. You finally made it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. $100,000 can disappear much faster than it took you to build it. And millions of people are unknowingly preparing themselves for exactly that. Because the biggest financial mistake isn't always failing to make money. Sometimes it's finally making money and still thinking like someone who has none. You work harder. You get a better job. Your salary increases. You buy a better car. You move into a better apartment. Your lifestyle improves. And somehow, you are still waiting for financial freedom. Why? Because there is a difference between earning money and building wealth. And if you don't understand that difference, you can earn $10,000 a month and still be financially fragile. Today, we're going to expose the $100 trap and more. Importantly, how to escape it. The hard work trap. From childhood, many of us were given the same financial formula. Go to school. Get a good job. Work hard. Get promoted. Mori. Save some money. Retire. It sounds reasonable. And there is nothing wrong with hard work. Hard work matters. Skills matter. Discipline matters. But there is a problem. Hard work alone has a ceiling. If you are paid based primarily on your time, there are only so many hours you can sell. You have 24 hours in a day. You need sleep. You need family. You need rest. And eventually, your body gets tired. Imagine to people. Person A earns $5,000 every month from their job. Person B earns $5,000 every month from a combination of a business, investments, and assets. Their income may look identical, but their financial position can be completely different. If person A stops working tomorrow, the income may stop. If person B stops working for a month, some of their assets may continue generating income. That is the difference between income and wealth. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you own and what remains after your obligations. And this is where the story changes. Chapter 2. Income is not wealth. Let's make this painfully simple. Suppose someone earns $10,000 every month. Sounds rich, right? But imagine they spend $3 on housing, $1,5 on treches, $1,500 on food and lifestyle, $1 sem family, $1,000 on entertainment and subscriptions, $1,000 on debt payments. Suddenly, $10,000 became almost nothing. Now, imagine someone else earns only $5,000. But they live on $3,000 and consistently invest the remaining $2,000 dollars into productive assets. Who is building more financial strength? The second person may be completely different. If person A stops working tomorrow, the income may stop. If person B stops working for a month, some of their assets may continue generating income. That is the difference between income and wealth. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you own and what remains after your obligations. And this is where the story changes. Income is not wealth. Let's make this painfully simple. Suppose someone earns $10,000 every month. Sounds rich, right? But imagine they spend $3 on housing, $1,5 on taxa, $1,500 on food and lifestyle, $1 sem family, $1,000 on entertainment and subscriptions, $1,000 on debt payments. Suddenly, $10,000 became almost nothing. Now, imagine someone else earns only $5,000. But they live on $3,000 and consistently invest the remaining $2,000 into productive assets. Who is building more financial strength? The second person may be. This is why your salary alone doesn't tell the whole story. Your wealth-building rate matters. There is another trap here. When income rises, people often increase their spending. They get a promotion, and suddenly they need a more expensive car. They earn more, and suddenly they need a bigger house. They start making more money, and somehow their financial stress doesn't disappear. This is lifestyle inflation, and it can quietly consume every raise you ever receive. The goal isn't simply, how can I earn more? The better question is, how much of what I earn can I convert into assets? Because income can pay your bills, but assets can potentially build your future. The $100,000 psychological milestone. 8:30-2. Now, we reach the number that gives this documentary its name. $100. Why does this number matter? Not because $100,000 automatically makes you rich. Doesn't. In many places da home, it isn't enough to retire comfortably for most people. And inflation changes what money can buy over time. So, why is it important? Because accumulating your first serious pool of capital can change your relationship with money. Consider someone who saves and invests $1,000 every month. Ignoring investment returns completely. That's $12 a year. Approximately $60,000 in 5 years. Approximately $120,000 in 10 years. The numbers are not exciting at first. But that's the point. Wealth is often boring before it becomes impressive. People want the dramatic moment. The business that suddenly explodes. The investment that multiplies overnight. The property that doubles. But sustainable wealth is usually built through something much less exciting. Consistency. And once you have meaningful capital, another force begins working in your favor. Compounding. Let your money start working. Imagine investing $500 every month. That's $6 a year. Over 10 years, you personally contributed $60,000. Now suppose, purely as an illustration, those eighth annual return. The asset mindset. Real estate, business owner, stock market chart, digital product, book. So, what should you actually build? The answer isn't one magical investment. There is no universal asset that guarantees wealth. Instead, think in categories. Productive businesses. A well-run business can create value and potentially generate profit. Real estate. Property can potentially generate rental income or appreciate. But it comes with risks, maintenance costs, financing costs, and market uncertainty. Financial investments. Stocks, bonds, and other securities can help people participate in economic growth, depending on the investment and risk involved. Intellectual property and skills. A valuable skill can increase your earning power. A book, course, software product, brand, or other intellectual property can potentially create income beyond your immediate working hours. And then there is something people underestimate: your reputation. Trust is an economic asset. Freedom, the real wealth formula. So, if working harder isn't enough, what should you do? Remember this formula. Increase your ability to create value. Learn skills. Improve your communication. Become better at solving problems. Build a career or business that can increase your earning power. Then, keep. Don't allow every increase in income to become an increase in lifestyle. Then, invest. Put capital into investments and assets that match your goals, risk, tolerance, and time horizon. Then, own. Move beyond simply being paid. Build ownership. Own part of a business. Own productive investments. Own intellectual property. Own assets that can potentially appreciate or generate income. Then, reinvest. Instead of consuming every gain, put some of it back into the machine. And finally, repeat. That's where the magic happens. Not overnight. Not in 30 days. Not through a secret cryptocurrency. Not through a miracle business. But through years of disciplined decisions. The final truth. Let's go back to that person with $100,000. They have two choices. They can see the money as permission to upgrade their lifestyle. Or they can see it as a foundation. They could spend everything trying to look successful. Or they could use part of it to strengthen their financial foundation. Build an emergency reserve. Pay down expensive debt. Invest according to a sensible plan. Build skills. Build a business. Acquire productive assets. And protect themselves from catastrophic financial mistakes. Getting rich isn't primarily about finding one big opportunity. It's about making thousands of intelligent financial decisions. But don't spend your entire life selling your time. Use your income to buy back your future. Because the ultimate goal isn't simply to earn more money. It's to reach a point where money is no longer the thing controlling every decision. You make. And that is the real escape from the $100,000 trap. Don't just make money. Build wealth.